Hi guys, welcome to another Divi theme video. This is Jamie from System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Oh, we got a great one for you today. In our last video, we showed you how to create this toggle for a read more that was supplied to us the code by Elegant Themes. And it's great, works perfectly as you can see. But this is specifically tailored, this code here that they've given us is specifically tailored just for text modules. So if you want to use it on different types of modules, you're going to have to update that code. So what I've done, I've rewritten it so you can use it with a class name on any module you want. We've got it on a person module here. And I got it on a little blur module down here. Really easy to do. I've done it all for you. Pretty much copy and paste, but I will tell you how you can style your button and things like this. So let's get started. I'm going to add a new page. And let's just call it toggle text. I'm going to use a Divi builder, obviously. I'm going to go ahead and build from scratch. I'm going to add 3 columns to mine. And somebody was asking about a person module, so I guess I'll start off with that one. Let's start up. There's a person module. I'm going to leave everything just as it is generically. I'm going to up that text a little bit. I'm just going to copy this content, repaste it in down below. So we've got a little bit more text there. Let's do that one more time. So we've got a fairly deep module there. Let's just throw an image in. Great. If you want to link the module somewhere, you can do so right here. Always best practice, if you're linking to your own site, leave it in the same window. If you're linking off-site, open it in a new tab. Okay, I think I'm just going to pop that text in the middle there. So I'm going to go down to text and pop it in the middle. Fantastic. In the text, you can add their social media profile buttons if you want to. To do that, just put a link in. I'm going to put a hashtag as I've got no real link. As you can see, we've got 3 little social media icons there. Let's just turn those blue or something. There we go. You can see them a bit better. Great. Okay. Well, I'm going to add the code now, and I've put it on a PDF. I'll put this link down below. You can just open it up and you'll have it exactly like I have here. What I'm going to do with mine, if you want to, you can put the CSS in your custom CSS box and the script in your integration, add to the head of your blog if you want to. I'm going to use a code module for this today. That way we can use it on different pages for different heights. And I'll demonstrate that in a while. So if we go back to our site now, I'm going to add a new row. I'm just going to put a single column. I'm going to add a code module, and you can add this pretty much anywhere you want. It doesn't take up a lot of real estate. Now what I'm going to do is go back to our PDF here. I'm going to copy everything from the opening style tag all the way down to that closing script tag right there. Now when you copy it, there's a little line of text right there, file, C, users, black, blah, blah, blah. That was the actual location of the PDF. Now you don't need that. So just copy what you want here, Control C to copy. We're going to go back to the page, to our text module. We're going to paste it right in there. And let's go down just above that closing script tag. We've got that file and the page URL. You don't need that. So select that from the file to that last square bracket of AM right there and just delete it. You don't need that. Like I say, that's just the URL of the PDF file itself. Okay, once it's in there, it's pretty much done. If we look at the top, I've created a class name called tog height, and it's going to set it to a height of 300 pixels initially. And it's going to create a button called toggle button. I've got it doing that with the script, and you'll see that when I save. And this will shorten to 300, just like our other one we did the other day. And I've got my buttons styled here, and I'll take you through that in a minute because you're probably going to want to style yours a different way. So let's select this class name, tog height, without the dot. When you're writing it, you always have a dot. When you're applying it to a module, you don't use the dot. So it's tog height just there, Control C. We'll save what we've got going on here. Going to go into this module, over to Advanced and CSS ID and Classes. It's a class. Make sure you put it in a class and not the ID. It won't work. As you can see, that's shortened that up. And like I say, initially I've made mine 300 pixels. But you can't see the button. That's because we're in the builder. Once we close the builder up, you'll see the button there, and I'll show you that. So let's save this. Save the page changes. Save draft or publish if you're ready. And let's exit the Visual Builder. And as soon as we exit, you can see we've got that read more button there. When I click on it, it's going to open just like that, revealing extra text and the social icons right there. And the text changed to read less. When I click on it, it's going to close back up. Now, like I say, you might want to style your button differently. You may have left aligned text and want your button on the left in a different color. So let me take you through that. If we look at this code here, here's all the CSS for the button that I've put in there. There's the background color of red. You can use any hex RGBA color you want. I'll change that in a moment just so you can see. My button's got no border. If you want a border, you can put one in here, and I'll demonstrate all this in a minute. That's the color of the text. Border radius, I've just got little tiny rounded corners. Font weight, that's the text weight. I've got mine as bold. That's the shape of the button, padding 15 and 15. I've got mine negative 15 pixels for the bottom. So if you want to move it further away from your text or closer, we can change that value right there. I've got mine in the middle, so I've got it left 50%. I'm translating it of half of its width there, so it should be smack in the middle, which it is. Now, just to demonstrate this a little bit further, if we go back to this page now, we're out of here, I can inspect this button, right click, inspect. Just roll it up so you can see it. There's all of that code. I'm using Google Chrome here with the inspector tools. I've got elements selected over this side, so I've got HTML, and styles selected over this side, so I've got CSS. Now, if you want to change the background color, to make it black, I'll put a hex code in there, which is #000. You've got a black button. If you want to add a border, here we can say, well, let's give it 2 pixels, solid, black. Or black you're not going to see, let's make it red. As you can see, it's got a red border around it. If you wanted to make that writing red also, just change that color from white, let's say red. Or in hex, that'd be FF000. If you don't want a black background color at all, you can say transparent. If you want to change the shape of that button, we can do it with the padding. Give it more height and more depth. If I want to make it deeper, I'll up that 15 pixels, which is top and bottom right there. If I want to make it wider, I'll up the second value here, which is left and right. Or you can do 4 values and have different values for top, right, bottom, and left. It goes like a clock. And what I was saying about it being too far up or too far down, at the moment it's negative 15 pixels from the bottom, so it's just up from the bottom. If I was to change that to negative 30 pixels or even 35 pixels, you'll see it drops down further. So you can position it where you want, just like that. Now at the moment, like I say, I've got mine in the middle, so I've got mine left 50% and transform, translate negative 50%. If we take this off, I'm just going to uncheck those. You'll see it's over the left-hand side there. If you wanted to push it to the right, right, 0. It's on the right-hand side. Now, because we're doing this in the browser here, none of this is going to save. When we refresh this page, it's going to go back to how it was. So once you created any changes, just copy your code from here, go back into your code module and save it in there. So let's just make a couple of changes here. Make that border black perhaps, and also the writing black. I'm going to take a bit of that padding away. Now let's take it back to pretty much where it was. So 10, 15. And I want mine in the middle still, so I'll leave that. And I can lose the right because we don't need that at all. Okay, when you're happy, you can just select all the ones that you've got checked there. Control C to copy. And if we go back into our builder here, we'll go down to the code module itself. In the CSS, we just need to paste our new CSS in there, overwriting our original. Just make sure you paste it in between the two curly brackets there. If I just get rid of this completely, it'll show you. So we've got nothing in there now. And Control V to paste. Paste your new code in there. Save it. We're good to go. And once you've got it in there, you can apply it to just about any module you want. For instance, if we add a new module, let's use a call to action perhaps. I'll leave it all like that. Let's add a button by going into the link. Button doesn't show up till you put a link in for it. There it is right there. I'm just going to change that background color to a blue. And let's give it a little more content again, so we've got something to toggle. Again, I'm just going to copy text that's there. Paste it in a couple of times. There we go. So we've got a fairly long module there. And I'm pretty sure you know exactly how to do this. We're going to steal the class name that we used on here. Tog height. Control C to copy again. And we're going to give it to this particular module. CSS IDs and classes. Make sure you put it in the class there. As you can see, that's shortened that up. Perfect. Now what I found with clear modules where you've got the same background color as the page, it works perfectly, it looks good. But kind of with this one, I'd like to have a little bit of the blue on the bottom underneath the text there. And I find the best way to do this with colored modules is to go into the column that it's sitting in and just match the color. If we go in there, green tab for the row, we're in column number 2 there. I want to go into the background, I'm going to make it blue. And just to give it a little hangover at the bottom there, I'm going to go into design and spacing. And let's add maybe 30 pixels to the bottom. That way you've got a little bit of blue space on the bottom there. But that's entirely up to you. And when we save this, save the row settings, let's have a look on the front end. And there it is right there. We've got our button. And what I was saying earlier about repositioning your button, if you wanted this to be further up or further down, we can go into there. And that's our bottom right there, minus 35 pixels. If I drop that down to minus 15 pixels, it'll be closer to the text. I'm just left clicking on it till it highlights this box. And when you're in here, you can actually roll with your mouse wheel and take it down or up. And notice it's doing both buttons there. So if you want it real close, you can roll it up to 0 pixels. If you want to get it further away, just roll it down to where you want it. Just copy that one entry and override it in your custom CSS styles in the code module if you want to change that. As you can see, really easy to do. And the great thing about doing it this way with a code module on the page is if you've got particular modules on one page that are going to work with 300 pixels, and you go to a different page and you've got some bigger modules that perhaps wants to work with 400, you can just paste that code in there. So let's show you exactly how to do that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go down to my code module here. And because code modules don't take up much real estate, occasionally you'll have trouble finding it on a page. If that's the case, hit your little purple button. We can go over to wireframe mode on the left hand side there and get to it that way. Now all I want to do is save mine to my library. Let's go back to desktop mode. So I'm going to go in there. This little icon, the round icon just to the left of the trash can there, is saved to library. I'm going to call this Read More 3 for Read More 300 deep. I'm going to save it to my library. Now let's add a new page. I'll call this Tog 4. Use the Divi builder. Going to build from scratch. Throw a couple of columns in. Use whatever module you want. Like I say, this will work with any module. Obviously, it's going to be better with text modules. I'm going to chuck another blurb module in there. And let's copy this content several times so we've got some depth. That's great. Pop whatever image it is you want. Great, we'll save that one. So I'm going to just go down to the bottom of here. I'm going to put code module on the bottom of this one. I'm going to add it from my library. There's Read More 3 right there, the one we just saved. And it's popped it in here at the bottom. If we go in there now, we can change everything on this. The initial height, I want to make that 400 pixels instead of 3 on this page, so we see more of that blurb module. Let's turn this button back more how we want it. So I want the background to be red. I don't want any border. I want the color of the text to be white. And because all our text is left aligned there, I want the button to be on the left. So I'm going to delete these last two lines, left 50% and transform translate. And if we roll down to the bottom here, here's what the button initially says. Let's change it from read more to see more. Just make sure you don't lop off those inverted commas there. So I'm going to change the read to a C. And at the bottom here, I'm going to do the same for these two at the bottom where it says read less and read more. And just above those entries there, just put this one in. I want this now to be 400 pix minimum height and 400 pix there. So basically anywhere you see the 300 pix, change it to 400 if that's the depth you want. Now all we need to do is grab our class name up there without the dot, remember? Tog height. We can save our code module, go back into this module and apply that CSS class name, advanced CSS IDs and classes. Make sure you put it in the class. As you can see, that shrunk that down. Let's take a look on the front end. I'm going to save my changes, save the page changes, and exit the visual builder. And there it is. We've got our see more button down here. When I toggle it, obviously it's going to open it up. See less. It's going to close it down again. And we've got our 400 pixels height, but because we've copied that code module on our other page, we've got our 300 pixels height. If we exit the visual builder here a minute, we've got our 300 pixels height. We've got our button styled a different way and in the middle. So there you have it. I hope that's answered that question for you. There's how to apply this code to just about any module. And don't forget, the URL for this is down below. Just click on it, copy and paste it like I did, and you're good to go. Just remember, you don't need this line of code there. That's just on the PDF. From the file name to the little square bracket at the end there. Once you copy it, you can just delete that. So I hope you've enjoyed this today and found it useful. If you have, please give it a thumbs up, ring the bell, comment, share, and subscribe to our YouTube channel. Don't forget, if you have any questions, pop them down below. I'll do my best to answer them for you or make a little demo video like this one. If you have enjoyed this today, please hit like, share and subscribe down below. Please leave us a comment. It's always great to hear from you. Once again, this has been Jamie from System 22 and webdesignandtechtips.com. Thanks for watching. Have a great day.